Well, it's more or less the last day of school, and many of you are saying, hooray, it's the last day of school. Thank goodness for that. It must have been so stressful though for the last few months, or for the last few months with the exams, the preparation for exams. But luckily it's all over and done. Many pupils may be a little bit upset because maybe a teacher may be leaving, that you could relate to, or you might be moving on to another school and you might be leaving some friends behind. But if you are moving on to another school, it must be quite upsetting, especially when you're so used to being in the surroundings that you've been in for the last year or for the last few years. But you'll be moving on and meeting new friends. So you have new friends as well as the old friends, and new surroundings, and so on and so forth. So the first day back can be a bit daunting, though. I remember, but it's also very exciting. It's also very exciting as well, and it's amazing if you're consistent with school, how because everybody most probably feels that way. Everybody probably feels that way a little bit, nervous because it's the first day. But as you're consistent in going into school every day, you slowly, or should I say quickly, fit into the routine and start making friends and so on and so forth. What was I going to say? But just to congratulate you from getting through another year, another term, and being consistent with your work and so on and so forth. And I know many pupils are going to be looking forward to the results that you're going to get in August. And remember, it's not the end of the world if you don't achieve exactly what you wanted to achieve. And there are other alternatives as well. And sometimes we feel like this is the direction we want to go to, but maybe there might be another direction that might be better for you. But wait and see, and hopefully you do get the right results that you need. Hopefully you do. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. You can either resit or like I say, take an alternative. And I guess next on the agenda, though, if you haven't already had it, probably majority of the schools have had it though, is the prom. If you had the prom, how did that go? Did you go to it? Because I remember when I was at college, they didn't have a fancy thing called the prom. I remember they had a disco, and it was like, I'm not going to go to that. I'm not going to go to that. Because I shared about how, I sort of like experienced a little bit of indirect bullying and stuff like that. When I was at college, it got a little bit easier. But I still sort of did have this thing about, when I'm out of college, I'm all right about that, So I didn't want to go to the disco. If I had a thing called the prom, because it's all different now, where majority of the girls are dressing up in their ball gowns or what have you, maybe I probably would have gone just for the experience and sort of, just stayed for a while. I don't know. But the prom looks really exciting, and it looks like you can make some really good memories by going to the prom and so on and so forth. Get a nice dress or what have you, do yourself up and what have you. So if you went to the prom, did you go to the prom? Did you enjoy going to the prom? And yeah, I remember they had the disco at the college, and I did have a few friends there, but I still did have issues about stuff there that I just wasn't completely happy about, and I just thought, no, I'm not gonna go. And it was quite funny actually, because one of my friends there, she went, and I had a dream. And I actually saw her in a car with this other boy. Now, he was a year above us. He was about 1 or 2 years older than us, and he had a girlfriend in the same year. But I happened to see my friend in the car with this other person's boyfriend in the dream. So on the Monday morning, I remember at lunchtime on a Monday, I used to pop out and go to the high street, and I used to sort of like go to the record shop and maybe buy a couple of records and things like that and some lunch. And I remember either coming back in, I think it was when I was coming back in, I went into the main hall where everybody was, and I said to my friend, anyway, what were you doing in the back of the car with so-and-so? And she went, how did you know? Yeah. And that's when I realised what on earth is going on here, because basically what it was is, like I've said before, I used to sort of like go through a little bit of indirect bullying. You know, I call it indirect bullying, whereby people are doing stuff behind your back and making fun of you a little bit behind your back and all this sort of stuff, right? So when I started going to this particular college, and it was a college for 15 and up, I started experiencing dreams. I used to see myself in an outfit. I used to see myself going through a situation but overcoming it. And then either a few days later, I would either be in that outfit for some reason, something would happen and I would overcome it. And it used to happen quite regularly. And it felt like something was trying to comfort me through my dreams because of what I was going through, you know? Yeah, so it was quite amusing for it to be confirmed, you know, that, you know, in my dreams, I'm sort of seeing things in my dreams, you know? And it was all positive. It was all positive. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, if you are experiencing bullying, and hopefully you've managed to find a teacher, someone responsible that you can talk to about it, so they can help you and help deal with the situation, so the situation can stop. And I'm hoping that if you have gone through it, if you have gone through it, hopefully the situation stops so that you can look forward to starting a new term without having to continue to go through a situation like that. Yeah, so and it's easier said than done, because when you do go through things like that, even if, say, like you've overcome it, it still can leave marks there, because it took me a while to deal with situations like trusting people and you know, so on and so forth. But what I did find was that in order to get through situations, I used a lot of humour. I felt like over some time I could see that it actually built up. It was like character building. It's horrible to go through it, but I'm just sort of, you know, encouraging you. And I grew to enjoy my own company. So I'm very sociable, but I do like my own company. I do like sometimes going to places on my own and so on and so forth. And so I feel as though there's a lot of things I can do now that a lot of people find difficult to do, you know, and it's all because of issues that I had to address when I was, you know, at school, when I was going through things like this. And I'm here today sharing about it, trying to encourage you and other people. And even if you haven't gone through it, you've come across this video, you might know somebody who has gone through it or who is going through it. Please encourage them. Even share this video with them. You know, it's just to encourage. It's just to encourage. And to make you see that sometimes when people bully, it can be a reflection of what's going on inside of them. Maybe they're not happy at home, or they see something in you that they feel like they could be a little bit jealous of something. There's something about you that, you know, it's making them feel insecure. Or sometimes people can see who you're going to be before you even know it. So before you can get to that stage, they try and pull you down. It's like a negativity before you act, so that you don't achieve what you can achieve, or what they think or know that you can achieve. It's all these different types of things, you know. So it's just to encourage you and to build you up. And now we've got the summer holiday, so majority you've got, I've got 6 weeks or even a few more weeks than that. Some of you may have broken up before, but enjoy, you know, your holiday. The weather's been really lovely, hasn't it? And try and find some time to relax, reflect, you know, and like I say, congratulate yourselves by getting through another term, another year, you know, and hopefully next term is going to be a brand new term. And I shouldn't say hopefully, let's just say next term is going to be a brand new term where things will be different. You know, if you have gone through similar things that I've been talking to, hopefully, like I say, it's been sorted out and it strengthens you as a person. Don't let it weaken you or make you sort of resume into a corner. Don't let it stop you from taking part in activities in school and things like that. See if you can build up new friendships, people that are willing to be proper friends, get some proper friends, you know. Because I was even talking to my daughter, and she was saying that there was a year, it was either when she was in year 9, for some reason the group that she was in stopped talking to her. They said, oh, you know, you're too rude. And all of the people that she was used to hanging around with that were part of her friendship group stopped talking to her. So she said to me she had to start all over again and find new friends. And I thought, what? She had to start again and find new friends. But she went in the next day. She didn't sort of say, I'm not going into school because, you know, my friends aren't talking to me. She just went in the next day and she was consistent in going into school. And she made a new friendship group, which isn't an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. So it's just to encourage you. It's just to encourage you. And yeah, enjoy your holiday.